who is going to represent each conference for the NBA Finals this year.
I'm going to contradict myself in this conversation right now.
I'll go first. I kind of had these two teams before the season. I really think it goes through Boston and Denver. I watched Denver last night just do whatever they wanted against Golden State down the stretch. Joker, when he has the ball in his hands, literally can see everything. I think that team is constructed almost perfectly. There's a lot of parallels to that Boston team where 1 through 5 they just make sense. It just makes sense. No one steps on each other's toes. They don't have too many repetitiveness within the flow of their offense. Jamal Murray is a dog. I believe he has the highest difference in points per game average between the regular season and the playoffs. So back to Manuva's point about there being just a dog who's going to give you 30, anytime you step on the court, Jamal Murray's liable to average 35 in a series, and that's with Joker averaging a triple-double. I got Boston. They're in the East. They're 1 through 5. Drew Holiday, Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Porzingis. The only thing derailing them to me from coming out the East is health. They're one Porzingis injury away from losing to either the Knicks or Milwaukee in that conference. So it kind of is what it is. But
ankle twist.
Right. I'm for sure rolling with those two teams.
Outside the club.
I'm rolling with those two teams if health is stabilized. So we'll kick it to Sean here since he went last first round. So Sean, talk to me. Who do you got representing each conference?
Whoever's first shall be last. I like the ball. Unfortunately, it hurts me as a Knicks fan to say I like the Boston Celtics. They are the most complete team in the Eastern Conference. I mean, who's to argue with their ability to stop the ball? One-on-one defense, first of all. We're not even talking about their ability to play team defense and the length that they have on the court. Their ability to get stops when they want to, and they have guys that can create shots, get on their own, and they also move the ball. They play great as a team. It's really hard to think that anybody else would be most effective besides Boston. Now, Western Conference. Now, we're talking about a stacked conference where, like you mentioned, FJB, you're looking at from 1 to 8, anybody could get got, anybody could get clapped. You know what I mean? I like
Western Conference is 1 through 10. Let's be honest.
Pardon me.
Fair.
It goes deeper than that, right? But I personally I gotta go with OKC, man.
Yeah.
OKC. In my mind, most mirror images a team like Boston when you got guards like Jalen Williams, and you got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and you got Chet Holmgren on the outside. Those young boys are ready to ball, bro. I would love to see them make a playoff run. That's my pipe dream. But I'm gonna get off my bullshit. I do like Denver as well.
Maneuvers, talk to me.
Yeah, before I make my picks, I'm gonna say a couple things, man.
Mr. 1 through 10 in the West.
Mr. 1 through 10 in the West. I gotta say a couple things. I think everything that I said still remains true in my previous comment. I do think the playoffs, however, a different animal. I think it's been quoted, LeBron has been quoted saying to Brian Windhorst about 60 games in this season, after a game, looking over to him and saying, man, this is a long season. 82 games is a long season. And then you got to play the playoffs, and then you got to play your best basketball against the best, playing their best basketball. I say all that to say, I think out of the West, controversial, the Clippers is, to me, the team that I'm going to be most scared of, given the skill set, the lack of that ring needed for the ring culture by some of the guys on that team.
So you like playoff P?
I me
fucking with playoff P?
Me personally, I'm gonna tell you who.
PG, are you with me?
I'm gonna tell you, I'm a Russell Westbrook guy because he's the kind of guy that I want on my team because he's a dog.
I'm still a Westbrook.
He's a dog. Listen, I think you need that in the playoffs. So I think, all of those guys that we mentioned, Harden, but you also have somebody who's done it before in Kawhi, who's still Kawhi. So I think, for me, I see the Clippers being still young enough to beat some of the older squads and match up well with them, and still old enough to out-veteran some of those younger squads, a la the OKC. Out of the East, y'all gonna look at me crazy, but out of the East, I'm gonna go with the home team. I'm gonna go with the Knicks, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna ask y'all one question. In the West, it's hard because it's like,
do you believe in God?
In the West, it's hard because like I said, 1 through 10 is anybody. In the East, though, I never look at Boston and be like, "Yep, they can be got." I feel like they can be got and they will be got. I don't feel like they don't give me that feeling of. I am more confident in. If I pick Boston, I'd be more confident in my Clippers pick of them winning the West than Boston winning the East. I just would be. And it's not past performance. It's just like they don't give you
the warm and fuzzies.
They don't give me that feeling that you're supposed to get from a team that's leading the conference and that have that depth and have the players that they have. I don't get it. Like, okay, they're gonna. I think they can be got. That's just look. No one thought Miami would be Milwaukee last year.
Yeah,
no one thought Miami would be in the finals.
This guy did.
I don't think the finals though.
Keep it a bean though. If Giannis is healthy, that entire series is completely different. But we gonna kick it to Darnell because you talking about warm and fuzzies over here. Who gives you the warm and fuzzies coming out of each conference? Pause.
Yeah, I know, right? I think we gotta stick for the most part. I think the most of us are gonna probably stick with Boston. I think the biggest cog for that team, and I think Milwaukee is probably gonna go down regretting this decision, is getting rid of Drew Holiday. I think when you get rid of a leader and someone that has that championship know-how and could transform the team. You can see Milwaukee still struggling. They're trying to get their footing together. Like, hey, who's gonna be who? Granted, Doug's gonna get it together. But for right now, get the ball, Giannis. So
with his ashy ass voice,
what I'm saying? So I'm JJ like blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so now we got to sit down and say, okay, I think it's gonna be Boston, and I hate agreeing with Sean. I
don't know why, bro.
Because I don't like you, bro.
Because you're fake.
That's it. I don't like you, Sean. That's it, bro. I'm being honest. You know what I'm saying? We being candid here. Like you know what I'm saying? So, but OKC, you watch them play, and I think Jalen Williams. I know SGA is playing phenomenal, but Jalen Williams gives them such a matchup disparity, man. It's like you just watch them play. It's like they're meshing at the right time, And I think right now, if they could keep that up, stay healthy. Of course, healthy is always the name of the game. Just like I'll say with Anderson, if OG and Julius comes back, I could probably say the Knicks have a great shot in the East. But OG's elbow is probably in the UK, we haven't seen his elbow in how long?
He said his elbow's in the UK.
It's like his elbow went back to the UK on a British Airways flight, bro. You just got traded. And of course, whatever, anyway. but I'm gonna go OKC and I'm gonna go Boston. I'm gonna go with that.
All right, some shades of 2011. You know, a little SGA, Westbrook, a little Chet, KD, Jalen Williams, James Harden. Yeah, almost what 13 years later. We'll see about that. But
Giddy off the bench cooking.
We gonna see. But you know, all
go
these
Giddy cooking something all right.
We're not gonna go there.
Gosh.
We're not gonna go there. We're not gonna do that.
Oh man,
all
these teams,
no charges.
Right.
Allegedly,
alleged
accusations.
Facts.
Accusations.
False accusations.
Oh man, we got all these teams, all these guys literally fighting.
I gotta
ask
the question though. I gotta ask the question before you move on. I gotta ask the question. We are all Knicks fans, and everybody put their head down. Pause. When I said the Knicks coming out of the East. Is it that far-fetched, fellas?
No,
yes.
It's not.
No, I don't think
it's not. It's not that far-fetched.
Look, yes.
Can I tell you why?
I want to hear the no. I want to hear the dissenter.
My real quick 2 cents. We need enough regular season games to get back in rhythm for OG and Randall before the playoffs for me to feel more comfortable about it. That's literally the only thing. I just checked their injury updates today. Both say early March. So we'll see what happens within the first 2 weeks.
March. That's
return
this week.
I saw 1 to 2 weeks on OG.
Early March is anytime before the 15th.
Yeah, I saw late March, early April for Mitch. Randall's still on a whatevs timetable because it's like, how do you come back from a separated shoulder? Is how you feel, whether or not you can come back from that type of injury. And then you're talking about physical playoff basketball, bro. Like,
if we can
Randall's game is
we can get them back
physical.
If we can get them back,
so they're saying
March.
Early March. If we can get them back in mid-March, they'll have exactly a month to get readjusted. The playoffs start on April 20th.
Yeah.
So if we can get them back, if we can get a solid month, get them 12, 15 games under their belt,
10, 15, 20 minutes
I'll be more confident. But
you're asking for
talk to me, Sean, because you're the one that
doesn't
believe.
No, I am the Knicks fan who has suffered for many, many years, and I can see what is happening right now. I have not lost faith in my basketball team, but from the basketball that we've been watching recently, most recent with us struggling to beat the Pistons. The Pistons. What you said, bro?
Risk averse.
Nah, not at all. Not at all. I'm calling it like how I see it, right?
Risk averse.
Because Hartenstein is still struggling with a sore Achilles, which scares the shit out of me. Because it's like, what does a sore Achilles translate to if it's injured even further? What are we talking? What are we talking when it comes to that? Guys coming off the bench struggling like Burks. Bogdanovich, he's a turnstile on the defensive end. Hart and Brunson are playing heavy minutes. Hart played 39 minutes tonight. That's not sustainable going into the playoffs. And when you're talking about transition basketball, when they're able to play defense on the Knicks in the half court, we look atrocious when Brunson's not cooking and he has the shooters to be able to kick to on the outside. So
we're missing 3 starters.
Yes. So for those guys to get adjusted and get acclimated so that they can be ready for the playoffs, it's really difficult to say that the Knicks are going to be effective and we're not even talking about seeding. Where they're going to end up at the end of the season and who are they going to play will definitely be predicated on how our success goes.
So that makes a lot of sense. And if we do end up 4, even if we win the first round matchup, we might play Boston in the second round. Now we really gonna have to show up to win that. However, Sean, contrary to your point, we've seen a sample size of games with OG and with Randall. What are they?
It's awesome.
17-3. So it's not like it's not like we're integrating guys who've never played together. We're reacclimating guys.
It's
you
Mitch.
know?
It's really Mitch. It's the Mitch back.
Getting back on the floor.
If you remove 3 starters from any team in the league, they will look like the Knicks look right now, and we're still.
And we don't
managing to
even
win
look
games.
that bad.
We don't even look that bad.
Yeah, we're
So
competitive.
it behooves everyone to understand what's happening with the Knicks and that they're doing the best they could with what they can. You can only play the teams in front of you. You can only play who you got on your roster that's healthy. So with that being said, let these guys come back. We'll keep monitoring the injury updates. We're going to see what it is.
But NBA Finals?
Fighting for our playoff lives, like other people fighting for their
NBA
own
Finals, though?
I just want to know how much is a first class ticket for OG's elbow, so we get it back from the UK.
Man, get the hell out of here
fly
with
back,
that, man.
fly back private.
Private jet,
private.
please,
Man, listen.